Welcome back to another episode of the Cannabis Podcast. I am your host, Kay.
And I'm Sensei.
We are going to go ahead and jump into one of the topics that has one of our viewers asking and wondering if, for us cannabis users, if it is a deal breaker when the other person that they're dating or trying to date uses or not uses cannabis for their daily life. So I want to go ahead and I'm going to ask my co-host, Sinsin, if she feels that there is a deal breaker going into a relationship or being in a relationship, if it is a deal breaker to be a cannabis user.
To be honest, I feel that it can be sometimes. It really can. Sometimes there's some people that don't like their woman or their man to smoke.
Right.
So I get that part. For me personally, I was in a relationship, a 15-year relationship that he smoked and I didn't. So, and it was, I didn't mind.
Right.
I liked the smell of it. I didn't mind the, going places and the scent be in the air because he just, did a stony boney before we went anywhere or, whatever. I didn't mind it. But I do know of people that will not date somebody that does smoke.
Correct.
As our viewer did say one time, it's due to when they kiss, the taste in their mouth and stuff like that. And I get that when it comes to like people that smoke cigarettes and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I know you get this disgusting taste in the mouth or whatever. Right. Also, I feel is how you intake your cannabis. If you're smoking and you do paper or you do a cereal bowl or you do dab or, it depends. There's different, they won't leave that residue in your mouth.
Right.
Now, if you're smoking tobacco products with it or adding guava or Fanta leaves to it or whatever, then you might have that taste. I feel in a relationship, that should be communicated because some men might think a woman looks sexy smoking, but then might not want to kiss her. Right. I think it's sexy, but I don't like the taste in their mouth. And communicate that. Let somebody know. Don't let that be the deal breaker. Don't let that be the reason why you don't go forward with getting to know this person.
Right.
Because there's plenty of things to do. Brush your teeth, go chew some gum.
There is. Especially if you know someone that you're trying to talk to does not smoke, does not even partake into that. It's some consideration that you go ahead and maybe if you want to kiss them, you know what, go ahead and don't they have those little sprays?
Yeah, they got the little sprays. They got the little
They got
Listerine
gum.
Tags.
You got so many different Tic Tacs. Take it old school. Tic Tacs and throw one in, and I'm sure that's going to change a lot.
Yeah.
When it comes to people who
I think so
like
too.
it and don't like it.
I think so. With personal experience, I don't mind it, but I do get our viewers' reason because being the one that didn't smoke in the relationship, I know that taste. I know what taste they're talking about. That taste of the other person. And we don't want that taste. We really don't. But now that I am a full-blown canna woman, I would prefer my man tell me, hey, honey, you better, it's hygiene because honestly,
it is hygiene. It comes back to hygiene. Whoa, that comes way back to hygiene.
It really does.
It really does.
Because honestly,
if you waking and baking and not brushing your teeth,
that's a problem.
That's a problem. Yeah, you're going to have the funk and everything else with it. You're talking a whole night. What?
Yes, I completely agree because the fact that I am a canna woman and I don't have that bad breath problem.
Right.
I really don't. I could have a whole full-blown conversation with you and you will not realize that I actually am a canna woman.
That's hygiene. That's
it's
what
how
you do for your hygiene in your mouth. And some people don't have that. Some people feel like they brush their teeth first thing in the morning and they can take a nap, they can eat all day and they don't think.
Right.
And on top of that, you're adding smoking or whatever it is.
Coffee,
Coffee,
smoking,
all
all at
that.
the same
Yeah.
time. And then if you have a bad tummy, bad hygiene, your gut is not healthy, you're
Yeah.
gonna get that bad breath.
You really are.
So it's not only about, it's not, this topic is technically not about cannabis smokers.
Right.
Because it boils down to, do you have gut health? Is your hygiene at point? How are you intaking?
Right.
So there's a lot entailed with that. So for me personally, it's not a deal breaker. And if somebody doesn't care for what I do and how I do, then maybe you're not meant to be with me.
Right.
If you feel that that's going to be the reason why, because I know many people that are can of women, can of men, successful, and you will never know that they are.
Yeah.
And their hygienes are at par. You don't have to really worry about them. That scent that I know this viewer is talking about, because I have smelt it before.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about my personal relationship that I had. But I was always surrounded by people that smoked. And, back in the days, it was garshas and, stuff like that. And yeah, it didn't make your breath smell great.
Yeah.
But again, a lot of the people that I knew that smoked cigarettes too. Plus drank coffee. And not saying, because I drink coffee every day.
Yep.
I'm an everyday coffee drinker. But, it falls back down to hygiene and gut health. It shouldn't be a deal breaker. And again, if that's a problem, then you're looking in the wrong direction.
Correct.
For a partner. Because that shouldn't be the reason why. It's the same thing as you have if you meet somebody that's depressed or whatever, and they go to a psychologist, and the psychologist is writing up, Xanny pills or whatever, and they have to take this for their depression. Is that a deal breaker for you? Right. Are you not going to want to date this person because they're trying to handle their depression? That really shouldn't. And for me, being a can of woman, I take care of myself in and out, so I don't have that problem, and my honey doesn't have that problem either, because we both we take care of each other when it comes to that stuff. So no, it's not a deal breaker for me. Do you feel it's a deal breaker?
For me, no. I gotta jump to that and say no.
Okay,
I just there's no stipulation that wow. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
even when I had to think about that, I'm like, no, because
then,
I've been around it my whole life.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
being around it my whole life, family, friends, all that, it's never bothered me.
Yeah.
It's never been a bother to me.
Yeah.
I could say one thing that does bother me, but that goes across the board of everything, is the smell of ash. Like ashes in a tray, like that irritates me. So that's
funny, because I know what ashes smell like in a way, in a sense, but I never really thought about it. I guess it never really bothered me.
I have a really high sense of smell.
Yeah, I do too.
And
it's to certain things.
But like that's like, if I've been smoking all day and I go like this and I can smell it on my hands.
Oh, yeah.
You can smell it.
I gotta go wash my hands.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So to me, our fingers will smell like ash because, of course, it's close to it, lit or whatever.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's for anybody. That's not just for me. That's for everybody. So that is the only thing that irritates me. Like if I smell that, then I'm like, all right, let me go wash my hands, scrub my
Right. And maybe I have a little OCD, so I'm always wiping shit down, washing my hands. I mean, I'm an animal lover, so I have animals regardless of what. So I'm always washing my hands.
Right.
So it's like, and I get the ash smell. I never really thought about it, because it really didn't really bother me. And now from this point on, I will. I'm always going to be like, oh my God, it smells like ashes. But yeah, no, but I feel that we surround ourselves around everybody that we are surrounded around is a Canna family.
Yes.
We all are
Absolutely.
Canna family.
We are all.
So we all accept, and let me tell you, everybody that's around us, we don't have that problem of
No.
stinky breath
No.
or smelling stinky, or maybe we just don't accept you if you're I don't know. Because we do have high tolerance noses.
Yeah, we do.
So I don't know, but I don't feel like I have the problem with the people that I'm around.
Right.
But I absolutely do agree with our viewer, because I have been around those.
Correct.
That I'm like, whoa, the breath,
Right.
you know, like, oh my God. But I don't think it's the smoking the cannabis. For me, it's more you have a problem with your stomach.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
it really could be that there's so many things that can take place when it comes to that cannabis, smelling it, whatnot,
Yeah,
the breath
absolutely.
and not the breath, maybe just the linger of it. Some people have different noses for different things.
Yes.
And
Some people are more sensitive than others.
yeah.
And when it comes to you kissing your partner,
Mm-hmm.
I feel that the only way that really sticks if you're like drinking, and because let me tell you, when you drink,
Mm-hmm.
we all have this like residue in our mouth the next
Right.
morning. You know,
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. If you just had 4 or 5 shots the day before, you're gonna wake up with this feel in your
Mm-hmm.
mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you know, you're drunk as hell, you know, God knows if you over here stony bony Eddie Betty and you
Right.
kiss and you taste it,
Yeah.
then you know you're gonna taste something because the alcohol has that residue, so it kind of keeps that in the mouth. But again, I don't experience that
Mm-hmm.
at this moment, because I don't have that problem with me and my
Right.
partner. We're very, you know, very open to our hygiene. We always
Right.
make sure that we're brushing twice a day. You
Brush your
hand
tongues,
washing
guys.
and
The
stuff.
tongues makes
Please
a
brush
huge
those
difference.
tongues.
Tongues, upper mouth, where
Especially-
your tongue lays.
Yes,
That makes a huge difference,
it
guys. Let's
does.
floss.
It does.
Gargle some
Floss, of
mouthwash.
course.
There's many different mouthwashes. No one can sit there and tell me. Look, I remember growing up and not wanting the spicy
Yeah.
toothpaste, the spicy mouthwash. What? I have the best mouthwash. One day I'll come back to you. I'll tell you what it is. All I know it's blue with an orange lid, and it's like
I don't
Dr.
even know.
something, but it's non-minty. It's like more of a clean mouth, and it really does make you have that clean mouth. I think it's for people, I don't know, it's something. And one lady told me it's really for your gums and stuff. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, that's
Yeah.
where the root of our, stuff
Yeah,
comes from. You
yeah,
get
yeah,
food
yeah,
stuck
yeah.
in there, your mouth is gonna rot. I'm sorry, it is.
Ooh, I don't want to smell that.
Yeah, you
That's
leave
why
that
I
food in
didn't-
there.
I didn't want to become a dentist, a dental
No.
hygienist. I can't
No.
deal with people's mouths.
Yeah,
'Cause some
no.
people, but
Some
you
people are
know,
really nasty. They're really nasty, guys.
They
And then
are,
they
they
jump to
are.
those Invisalign, not the Invisalign, the fake teeth that they put on the veneers. Look, shout out to everybody who got veneers. Looks great. Majority love the smile. It's bright and white and very fixated. I'll stick to my Invisalign and
Yeah.
braces and keep it that very generic.
You know, the veneers.
But I've heard that it came up on my For You page, and it said like when you have veneers and they have that stank breath, and I was like, oh my God. You're
But-
so right. I knew 2 people that got veneers, and every time they talk, their breath stank. So
But
I
that's
was just
because
like,
there's a space there,
it's disgusting.
and if
If
they're
I
not,
can smell you, I know you got to smell yourself. Like you
Yes.
can't. Can you even floss veneers?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
My teeth are real.
I think yes.
I spend a lot of money on them. They're great. I go twice a year to get them
But
clean. Like we good.
honestly,
Like
with veneers, I'm not sure. I think they should be able to floss, but
I don't know. I just feel like it's a whole cap that goes on your teeth,
but
so I
if
don't know
there's
how
a
you
cap,
floss.
and so now if your hygiene ain't up to par, things gonna get into things. You know,
Yeah.
It's what it is.
And they spend
so-
thousands of dollars on these veneers, and your shit stinks. So what's the point
cute,
of having?
but stink.
Yeah,
How
I'd
that
rather
work.
not have that. I'd rather have smelling fresh, might be fucked up
Yes.
teeth, but you smelling fresh, and that's all that matters. Your hygiene is
I
up
might
to
be
par.
missing a tooth or so, but oh well. But my breath don't stink like that.
It don't stink. That makes a huge difference.
Oh
so,
yeah, it does. And then and again, going back to what our viewers talk about. Sorry, people with veneers, but I'm sorry, but that's how we feel about it. But it's just, I do understand it can be a deal breaker, but I feel that if you are already in a relationship with somebody,
It shouldn't
and
even bother you.
it shouldn't.
It shouldn't even bother you. You're already past that point.
Yeah, you already passed that. I
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that you got married with somebody and then you're gonna go divorce somebody because
Because you're tired of them smoking. You're tired
honey,
of them.
this is who you met. This is who you wanted to be with.
They changed their life.
I don't know. Or maybe they got married and the other person recently started
the whole cannabis journey and all that. That's cool, but
it's
what happened to through thick and thin, through
right,
it all,
right.
through I met you this way, but you're changing. If I met you this way and you're changing,
right.
you're evolving in your life. You're
right.
going from 30 to 40, whatever it is.
Yes.
You're evolving as that person. So everyone changes. We all know that. The way you met somebody is definitely not going to be the same way because you're growing into yourself. If you remain the same person that you met at 30 years old or 25 or 20, whatever it is, there's something wrong. Right. There's something wrong because you're going to change over the time of your life. You're going to go from young to old to therefore. So I don't think you should be divorcing or getting not dating somebody anymore because they are a cannabis user at this point.
And I think, honestly, when it comes to the person being a canna user because medically they need to,
that's a different ballgame.
Like if I am in a relationship with somebody and they start using it because they're depressed or anxiety or it's helping them with pain, that smell and the breath, that shouldn't even be a topic.
Right. Because now your health is that matter.
It's like point. You're telling your partner, go get some pharmaceuticals over some natural herbs. I prefer the natural herbs over the pharmaceutical.
Of course.
And when I met my partner, he wasn't smoking.
Wow.
I didn't smoke either when we first met. We actually
evolved as a relationship. Evolved.
But we evolved together, and it was something that we did together. And it helped me in so many ways. He was on and off of it. I was on and off of it until then. For me mentally, it stabilized me and it helped me get through things. And for him, it did too. So that deal breaker part of it, it was non-existent in our relationship. And I mean, if there is a moment that I decide I don't want to do this anymore, I'm not going to judge him or make it a point that, I'm going to break up with you because you're still smoking or whatever. No, I mean, I don't. I'm going to stick with I don't agree that it's a deal breaker. I mean, some people will, but, and then some people know who they are and they know what they like. Everybody has their type. Right. And if in your vision of type doesn't include a can of woman or a can of man, then that's the way you have to look for your partner.
Right, of course.
Just know that that's it's really a personal preference of who you envision yourself with.
Right.
And if it's smoker is not one, then be it.
Right.
Know how to choose your partner through what it is that you vision yourself. So, more power to those relationships out there, that those power couples that, they sit there and they support each other in whatever decisions they make. And if you're not supportive, then go the other route. It's what it is.
Yeah. I think we've answered our number one question as of right now.
Yes.
As you guys know, please feel free to send in any questions that you guys might have. Anything that we can bring up on our topics, we would love to talk about it. Love to get you guys' views and point of views as well.
Yes.
We're going to go ahead and close out for today. Thank you guys for watching the Cannabis Podcast. I'm your co-host, Kendra.
And I'm Sinsin. And make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Follow all our platforms. Make sure you go check us out on YouTube and Spotify. You will not regret our topics.